The Australian Capital Territory is packed with culinary treasures, all thanks to its food-loving locals who put their heart and soul into every dish.
There's so many smells and tastes and so many things to try and really discover and be surprised by the food that our region does offer.
Join us as we uncover the scenic wine trails, modern dining spots and innovative flavour engineers who are elevating the region's food culture to new heights.
I'll take you behind the scenes and I'll put your nose to test.
You can see it being made, you can smell it being made while they taste it straight from the glass.
It's about getting on your plate and knowing where it comes from.
Get ready to experience Australia. The Australian Capital Territory is nestled within the state of New South Wales. It was founded in the early 1900s as the headquarters of the newly formed Australian Federal Government. Its capital city is Canberra, situated along the picturesque Molonglo River. The name Canberra is said to be derived from a local Aboriginal word meaning meeting place. The city is celebrated for its diverse, tight-knit community, and this local spirit is on full display at the Exhibition Park Farmers Markets.
So the very first market was actually started to sell the roses that were cut out of old Parliament House when they are refurbishing the rose gardens there.
Sarah Power manages the market. It began in 2004 to support local farmers who had fallen on hard times.
The Rotary Club of Hall saw that there were some issues with farmers around the region being able to sell their produce. And starting the markets gave them the opportunity to sell their produce direct to the consumers here in Canberra.
What started with just 15 vendors has blossomed to over 100 stalls, pulling in more than 6,000 visitors each week.
We have over 100 stalls of farmers, producers, makers that are bringing their produce here each and every Saturday directly from the farm, from the maker, here to the customer. Find out how your food has been made, how it's been grown. It also solves low food miles.
Food miles refers to the distance your food travels to get to your plate. The lower the food miles, the fresher the produce, and the smaller the carbon footprint.
It was started originally to bring a community of farmers together to be able to sell, but it's in turn created an amazing community of people that have been brought together by food. A lot of times farming is a very isolated experience, and so where we've had a lot of difficulties with fires, droughts and more recently the floods, it's given our farmers an outlet and a community to actually thrive.
Farmers of the Australian Capital Territory have faced many ups and downs over the years, but when you buy directly from them at the markets, you're not just getting the freshest produce, you're helping to keep the local farming industry alive.
There's so many smells and tastes and sights and so many things to try and really discover and be surprised by the food that our region does offer.
From the bustling markets of Exhibition Park, we arrive at the serene pastures of Pialligo Estate. This vast property started life as Canberra's original market garden in the 1820s. Today, the estate's diverse crops continue to thrive, and its delicious bounty is served fresh every day in the estate's restaurant and event space just a stone's throw away.
Initially, this piece of land was Canberra's food bowl. So it's always been about producing food in this particular area.
Peter Anderson is the chief horticulturalist at Pialligo Estate.
My passion for farming isn't really about the farming. I grew up as a kid in country Tassie with my dad growing all this stuff. We would go and pull the carrots, pick the collies before dinner so it could be cooked and prepared. And really it's all about that. It's about getting good food on your plate and knowing where it comes from.
Pialligo Estate's Paddock to Plate philosophy showcases fresh, ethical and sustainable dining. It's all about knowing where your food comes from, celebrating the people who work hard to produce it and caring for the environment.
We've got 1,100 fruit trees. There are 8 different varieties of fruit. So we'll have a late and an early variety of a peach, a white flesh and a yellow flesh. That'll spread out what the restaurants can use and how we use it. Then we're into the olive grove. It's a Tuscan variety called Corrigiolo, and we make oil out of that.
Visitors to Pialligo are welcome to stroll the grounds of the property, and there is so much to explore, including a veggie patch, a vineyard, an orchard, and even an olive grove.
Then we come into the market garden. That's got something like 80 different vegetables and fruit that we harvest each day. Every fruit and vegetable and berry that we produce, we make something out of. And that includes things like bees as well. The honey we harvested this morning, we'll do that every couple of weeks and we'll get 15 to 20 kilos every time. They have a dual purpose of also pollinating all the orchard and the market garden, so you increase your yields.
The restaurant's menu evolves with the seasons, reflecting whatever is coming into bloom on the farm.
So over the whole thing, I will be able to show you the meeting point of all those different crops.
Located just minutes from the centre of Canberra, Pialligo Estate is a green oasis offering a dining experience like no other.
It will taste differently to what you see and what you buy in a supermarket. We will then go back and recycle all the waste so it goes back into the ground. Going forward, we need to make sure it's sustainable. What we try and do now is make sure that it's there for another 100 years.
If you enjoy a good drop of wine, Canberra's wine scene has more than enough to quench your thirst. There are 3 distinct regions, each offering a variety of wine styles, from rich reds to crisp whites.
Canberra wine region has over 140 vineyards and over 40 wineries.
Tanya Ollander is the cellar door manager for Shore Wines. She grew up immersed in Canberra's dynamic wine scene.
I'm one of the 5 family members of Shore Wines, and 20 years ago we established the business. The Canberra wine region is actually quite a large area. It's broken up into 3 areas. Murrum Bateman and Yass is where we are located. You have Hall and Canberra region, or you have more west, which is the Lake George collector area.
While there's evidence of vines being planted as early as the 1840s, Canberra's wine industry really kicked off in the 1970s when scientists for the CSIRO, the government agency responsible for scientific research, surveyed the region and determined that it would be perfect for cool climate wines.
We actually are a cool climate region, but because we have quite warm days during summer, it means that we can really ripen those grapes that a lot of cool climates can't. And it means that we've got more variety in the wines that you get to see here. So there's a lot of diversity, even elevations. They range from about 300 to 800 metres high.
Cold climate wines generally have higher acidity, which gives them a crisp, refreshing quality. And with a slower ripening process, the fruit flavours in these wines are often more delicate and nuanced compared to those in warmer climates. Visitors to the region can visit one of the many cellar doors and sip their way through an impressive selection of wines.
What we're most proud of at Shore Wines is our Cabernet Sauvignon. It's most certainly our flagship wine and our most awarded wine.
Despite being one of the nation's youngest wine regions, it's quickly becoming one of the most acclaimed and fast-growing. Looks like they're on to a good thing.
I I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
It is changing now. People are wanting more of an experience. You can come into the cellar doors, meet the makers. You can try all their beautiful drops, as well as the delicious food on offer.
With over 40 wineries to choose from, there's always something new to uncork in the Australian Capital Territory. Fyshwick is known as Canberra's industrial hub. But these days, it's also brewing up something special: craft beer. Australia's craft beer scene has taken off over the last decade, giving beer lovers a fresh, local take on brews that are anything but ordinary.
We make beer that treads lightly on our planet and is good for our community.
Dan Waters is the Sustainability Director at Capital Brewing.
Capital Brewing Company started here at Fyshwick in 2016 with the purpose of making good-natured brews.
While the major brewers stick to a narrow selection, craft beer companies like Capital Brewing boast a wide variety of styles such as sours, stouts and IPAs.
Here at Capital we make 20 different types of beers. You can come in and try some of our core range beers or a seasonal beer. You can also take it home with you and pair them up with an iconic Rod burger, one of the best burgers in the country.
Brewing craft beer is both an art and a science, from malting all the way through to packaging. First, barley is soaked to create malt, which is then mixed with boiling water to extract sugars, producing a liquid called wort. The wort is then boiled with hops for flavour, then cooled and fermented with yeast to produce alcohol. After fermentation, the beer is conditioned, filtered, carbonated and finally packaged for consumption.
Our guests love being able to come into the brewery and watch their beer being made.
Capital Brewing also has a strong commitment to sustainability.
Capital's really proud to have become the first brewery in the country to be fully certified carbon neutral for our entire organisation and all of our products. So we went through a life cycle assessment of our entire organisation, everything from surveying all of our staff on how they got to work, right down to how we could reuse all of our spent grain and trub, which we now send to an organic farm. As part of that process, we managed to reduce our carbon footprint by 259 tonnes.
As a testament to their dedication to high social and environmental standards, Capital Brewing Company has achieved B Corp certification. Capital Brewing has come a long way from its humble beginnings to become one of Australia's largest craft breweries. Today, its Fyshwick headquarters is the go-to spot for locals and visitors eager to raise a glass with friends.
You can see it being made, you can smell it being made while they taste it straight from the glass. Something nice and dark during the winter months or something light and refreshing during summer. Lots of different beers to choose from anytime throughout the year.
Winding its way through the states of New South Wales and the Australian Capital Territory is the mighty Murrumbidgee River. This vital water source was known by European settlers as the Big River, and for Clyde Morton, it was the inspiration for his passion project, Big River Distilling Company.
We are located at 1 Dairy Road, Fyshwick, in the heart of Canberra. Big River Distilling started in August 2018. After a career in science, I started winemaking in the district. And about 5 years ago, I turned to production of gin. Science helps me with the distillation process, and winemaking taught me about flavours. I use both of those things in producing high-quality gin.
You can take a tour of the distillery with Clyde as your guide and experience the fascinating process of gin production. Get a front row seat to the action as Clyde cooks up his latest creation. And see if you have what it takes to be a master distiller.
One of the most important tools in distilling is the distiller's nose.
Gin is made by combining a base spirit with botanicals.
On a tour of the distillery, I'll take you behind the scenes and I'll put your nose to test.
What sets Big River Gins apart is its use of Australian native botanicals. It is a liquid tribute to the unique flavours of the Australian Capital Territory.
Visitors are often surprised at the versatility of gin. Also, the time involved to produce it is very short.
As gin's popularity continues to grow, innovation and more delicious offerings are just beyond the horizon.
Distilling in Australia has gone from a handful of distillers to now over 300 different distilleries in Australia. I've been running the tour for 4 years and I don't think I've had too many questions that have stumped me, but there's a challenge for visitors.
Our journey ends just a 15-minute drive north of Canberra's city centre. Here, in the rolling hills of the Madura Valley, you can go in search of a rare and delicious treasure that has captivated humans for centuries: the black truffle.
It kind of went hand in hand with my background, is why I decided that truffle farming was something for me. The opportunity came to work in the field, play with dogs all day, and also being a local Canberra kid, I was born and raised here, I wanted to bring something special to the Canberra community.
Before starting life as a truffle farmer, Jason Mesman worked as a dog handler for Australian Border Security. Now, instead of sniffing out contraband from overseas, he unearths one of the most valuable ingredients in the culinary world.
A truffle is the byproduct of a tree under stress. It is the fruiting body that comes off the root structure of particular types of trees. In particular for us, we've got the French oak, the English oak, hazelnut trees and a stone pine tree. It is there to capture nutrients and nourish the tree.
Humans have been foraging truffles for hundreds of years, but farming them has always proved elusive. The breakthrough came in the late 60s and early 70s when researchers in France and Italy discovered that they could cultivate truffles by inoculating trees with truffle spores. Australia's truffle industry began in the mid-1990s, with the first Australian truffles hitting the market in 1999. The climate in Canberra is perfect for truffles to flourish, offering the temperate conditions, distinct seasons and well-drained soils rich in calcium that they need to thrive.
We have 8 dogs here at the farm, all with different capabilities.
Truffle hunting takes place in the winter months. This activity relies on the keen noses of trained animals. Pigs were once a truffle hunter's animal of choice, but they had a tendency to snack on the truffles once they found them. Today, certain breeds of dogs are the preferred option for the job.
They're predominantly Labradors and field spaniels, so we tap into their natural traits. These dogs are what we call frantic retrievers. The dogs that you'd have at home that chase the tennis ball till they pass out. So we're tapping into that game. At different times of the year, they're going to ripen. So we're teaching the dogs just to find the truffles that are ready to be harvested, ready to go out to restaurants. Truffles are a very unique fruiting body. Once the truffle is harvested, that is as good as the truffle is going to get. So we need to pick the truffles when they're at their peak.
To take advantage of freshly harvested truffles, the Truffle Farm provides a decadent dining experience for visitors.
Here on the Truffle Farm, we're really fortunate to have an amazing team in the kitchen. We go through a 7-course degustation where you get to enjoy fine dining, but you also get to learn about how to prepare these meals at home.
Known for their powerful earthy aroma, Black truffles are a coveted delicacy. Because they're so scarce, truffles are also one of the priciest ingredients on the planet. They are finely shaved or grated to elevate dishes.
Obviously, they get a wrap for their price tag at $2,500 a kilo. But what we're going to show you here at the farm is a $50 truffle, something that people are more comfortable to have a go with. We'll take that off your bucket list, add it onto your shopping list, and we're going to teach you how to use this ingredient successfully at home. It's got its place in fine dining, but it's also got its place in your kitchen at home.
The Australian Capital Territory's culinary scene is a perfect mix of old world craftsmanship and cutting-edge innovation, thanks to the hard work and talents of its dedicated producers and artisans. From the earthly delights of the black truffle to its exquisite cold climate wines, the passion and dedication of its people is evident in every sip and bite.